Space is vast, ancient, and deeply terrifying. Most of the time, we look up at the night sky and feel a sense of profound wonder. But we also know the cosmos is full of things trying to kill us. We usually worry about giant, civilization-ending asteroids smashing into our planet, or maybe massive dying stars violently exploding into supernovas, wiping out entire solar systems with intense bursts of radiation. Or even worse, rogue black holes silently wandering through the dark void, waiting to swallow our sun and planets whole without a trace. But what if I told you that the absolute greatest threat to our existence isn't a physical object or a cosmic event at all? What if the universe itself has a hidden self-destruct button? A fundamental flaw built into the very fabric of reality. A literal delete key for existence that could trigger at any moment, anywhere in the cosmos, without any warning whatsoever. And when I say it deletes things, I don't mean it just blows up Earth or vaporizes our local galaxy. It would literally erase the fundamental laws of physics themselves. Chemistry, biology, atoms, and light, all rewritten into chaotic nonsense.
Hello,
This
class.
mind-bending,
Today we're discussing
terrifying
false vacuum
cosmic
decay.
glitch
This is when a
is a
tiny bubble
concept
forms
known
and
by
expands at light
theoretical
speed,
physicists
destroying
as
everything in its
false
path.
vacuum
A
decay.
cosmic-
It might
Wait,
sound like a
what?
cheap plot from a bad science fiction movie, but it's a very real possibility predicted by quantum mechanics. And the absolute worst part? This universal collapse might have already started billions of years ago, somewhere out there in the deep cosmos. It creates an unstoppable bubble of pure existential dread, expanding outwards in all directions at the exact speed of light. Because it moves at light speed, we wouldn't see it coming. One moment, you're happily sipping your morning coffee, and the next, you, me, and everything we have ever known simply ceases to be. Let's explore how the universe could just delete itself. To understand how reality itself could suddenly break and delete everything, we first need to understand the concept of nothing. Imagine you have a giant, indestructible box floating in space. Now, let's remove everything inside it. Take out all the stars, the planets, the asteroids, suck out all the microscopic gas, the cosmic dust, and even every single particle of light. What are you left with inside the box? You might think it's a completely empty, silent void, a place where absolutely nothing exists. Just pure, mathematical emptiness. But if you zoom in close enough, quantum physics tells us a very different and much weirder story. That empty space is never truly empty. Instead, it is a boiling, chaotic sea. This sea is made up of fundamental forces called quantum fields, which stretch across the entire universe. Think of these quantum fields as the underlying water in a vast, invisible cosmic ocean. The physical particles we see, like electrons or quarks, are just the waves on the surface of this water. Everything in the universe, including the device you're watching this on, and even you, is essentially just a highly complex, vibrating cluster of waves in these quantum fields. And these fields are governed by strict rules. The most important rule? Everything is lazy. To understand this laziness in physics, imagine a ball rolling down a bumpy hill. The ball will naturally keep rolling, guided by gravity, until it reaches the absolute bottom, the valley. Once it's at the very bottom, it stops. It has zero potential energy left to give. It is completely at rest. In quantum physics, this state of absolute lowest energy is called the vacuum state. If all the quantum fields in our universe have rolled all the way down to the bottom of their respective valleys, then our universe is completely stable. It is in what we call a true vacuum. But what if it's not? What if, shortly after the Big Bang, the ball rolled into a small crater on the side of the hill and got completely stuck? To the ball, it looks stable. It feels stable. It has stopped moving. But there is a much deeper, true valley further down. It's just trapped behind a barrier. This temporary resting place, a state that pretends to be completely stable but isn't, is what physicists call the false vacuum. Think of it like a glass of water resting precariously right on the edge of a table. It's perfectly fine. Technically, it could stay there forever, as long as absolutely nothing disturbs it. But as we know, the quantum world is rarely perfectly still. It is incredibly jittery. If the table shakes just a little bit too much, the glass falls. And in the quantum world, things are always shaking.
Hello,
But
class.
what exactly
Today we're
is
exploring
the
Higgs
glass
field.
of water in
This
our
field
universe?
gives particles their mass,
Meet
like an
the
invisible
Higgs
syrup.
field. The Higgs field is an invisible energy field that stretches across the entire cosmos, interacting with fundamental particles. It is responsible for giving particles their mass. Without it, electrons would just zip around at the speed of light. Atoms could never form, molecules wouldn't exist, and planets, stars, and cute birds would be utterly impossible. For decades, this field was just a mathematical theory. Until 2012, when scientists finally discovered its physical manifestation, the Higgs boson, by violently smashing particles together at near light speed inside a massive underground machine. But when physicists actually measured the mass of the Higgs boson, the results were slightly alarming. The math suggests that the Higgs field might not be in its lowest possible energy state. It appears to be resting perfectly in that precarious, temporary crater we talked about earlier, the false vacuum. It's stable for now, but there is a much lower, true vacuum state waiting below. If the Higgs field ever drops into that true vacuum, its energy level will change drastically. This means the rules of mass would instantly change. The delicate balance that holds atoms together would vanish. Everything made of matter would disintegrate into a chaotic soup of fundamental particles. So, how could it fall? In our world, you need enough energy to push it over the edge. But the quantum world has a cheat code. In our macroscopic world, if a ball is stuck in a crater, you need to add physical energy to push it over the edge. You can't just wish it to the other side.
Nope.
But quantum particles don't always follow common sense. They possess a bizarre, almost magical ability known as quantum tunneling. Imagine throwing a tennis ball at a thick brick wall. Normally, it just bounces right back at you. But in the quantum realm, if you throw an electron at a barrier, there is a tiny, non-zero probability that it simply passes through the solid wall and materializes on the other side without breaking it. It's like rolling a dice with trillions of sides. Usually, nothing happens, but eventually, you might roll the exact right number. Now, apply this cheat code to our universe. The Higgs field doesn't need to be pushed over the energy hill. It just needs to wait. Through sheer random quantum fluctuation, a microscopic piece of the Higgs field could tunnel straight through that barrier and instantly drop into the much deeper true vacuum valley. If this happens in just one single, tiny, microscopic point somewhere in the vastness of space, the universe officially breaks. The absolute lowest energy state has been breached. At that exact microscopic point, a tiny sphere is born, a bubble of true vacuum. Inside this tiny bubble, the rules of physics are completely different. The Higgs field has a different value. Because the true vacuum is a lower energy state, it wants to share this stability. So, the bubble begins to expand. And as the true vacuum bubble expands, it does so at the absolute maximum speed limit of the universe, the speed of light. This means it is completely impossible to see it coming. The light carrying the warning arrives at the exact same time as the destruction. You couldn't hop in a spaceship and outrun it. It is an unstoppable, perfectly spherical wall of cosmic deletion. When the boundary of the bubble hits normal matter, like a star, a planet, or a cute cartoon bird, it doesn't just smash it to pieces. It fundamentally incinerates it on a quantum level. The very energy that binds atoms together is instantly rewritten. Protons and neutrons dissolve into a chaotic soup of fundamental particles. On a macroscopic scale, the destruction is awe-inspiring. The bubble sweeps through entire solar systems in mere hours. It devours glowing nebulas and ancient star clusters, turning beautiful cosmic structures into an unrecognizable, violent void. Within a few million years, the bubble could swallow an entire galaxy, leaving absolutely nothing of the old reality behind. And what exists inside this new, true vacuum universe? Unfortunately for us, it's incredibly boring and completely hostile. Because the Higgs field has a different value, the mass of electrons and quarks is completely altered. Chemistry as we know it is impossible. Complex molecules can't form. Therefore, biology and life itself can never exist there. It is a dead, sterile universe, replacing our vibrant, complex one. And here is the truly terrifying thought. Because the universe is infinitely vast and has existed for billions of years, a false vacuum decay might have already happened. A bubble of pure destruction could be racing towards Earth right at this very moment, just beyond the edge of our vision. So, a bubble of pure destruction could be racing toward us right now, hidden in the dark. Should we spend our lives in constant fear, waiting for the end of reality? Should we panic? Honestly, no. There are a few very comforting reasons why you shouldn't worry at all. First of all, because the bubble expands exactly at the speed of light, there is zero warning. There will be no emergency sirens, no alien invasions in the sky, no time to say goodbye. If the wave hits Earth, you wouldn't even have the time for the electrical signals in your brain to travel far enough to consciously register the fact that you've been destroyed. 1 millisecond, you are sitting on the couch, happily watching a video about the end of the universe. And the very next millisecond, you are simply a cloud of basic subatomic particles. You wouldn't feel a thing. It is arguably the most painless, sudden end imaginable. Second, we actually have a cosmic shield protecting us. The universe is expanding. The space between distant galaxies is constantly stretching, pushing them further apart. So, even if a false vacuum bubble started a billion light years away from us, the expansion of space itself might literally carry it away from us faster than it can grow. It would just recede into the infinite dark, forever locked behind the cosmic horizon. The possibility of false vacuum decay reminds us of how incredibly weird and fragile our reality is. We live on a tiny rock, suspended in a massive cosmic void, entirely dependent on invisible quantum fields just playing by the rules. But instead of feeling dread, we can choose to feel a bizarre sense of relief. The end of the universe is so vastly beyond our control that it's fundamentally not our problem. Our job is just to enjoy the incredibly lucky, beautiful accident of existing in this pocket of stability for however long it lasts. So,
Hey there,
go
buddy.
eat a pretzel,
Want some of this
pet a
yummy
dog,
pretzel? Woo!
and don't
Yes,
worry
please.
about the quantum
Here you go.
fields. They'll do what they want anyway. If you want to support us in exploring more existential horrors and cosmic wonders, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell. Or support us directly on Patreon so we can keep making these terrifyingly beautiful videos. As always, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Assuming the universe is still here.